You're about to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your kitchen. And right now, without even knowing it, you're probably planning at least 3 upgrades that will make you miserable for the next decade. Not because they look bad, because they look incredible, right up until the moment you actually have to live with them. This video will expose exactly which upgrades are secretly destroying your home value and which ones are quietly making smart homeowners richer. Stay until the end, because the last one on this list shocks literally everyone. Here's the truth nobody in the renovation industry wants you to hear. The most dangerous kitchen upgrades aren't the cheap ones. They're the expensive ones that photograph beautifully, sit in every design magazine, and feel like the obvious choice when you're standing in a showroom. But the moment you move in, they become your daily punishment. Let's go through all 10, and let's start with the one that tricks more homeowners than almost anything else. Upgrade number 1: Waterfall Edge countertops. Walk into any luxury showroom right now and you'll see it. That thick slab of stone or quartz cascading straight down the side of the island like a waterfall. It looks absolutely dripping. It photographs like a dream. Every interior design account on Instagram is obsessed with it, and it will quietly drain your wallet for years. Here's what the showroom doesn't tell you. That exposed vertical stone surface, it collects everything. Grease splatter from cooking, fingerprints every single time someone walks past, scuff marks from chairs, bags, and kids. Because unlike your flat countertop surface, which you wipe down naturally during cooking, that vertical face gets ignored until suddenly it looks dull, smeared, and nothing like the magazine photo that sold you on it. Then there's the cost problem. A waterfall edge isn't just a design choice, it requires significantly more material. Sometimes double the stone because you need matching slabs for the vertical drop. If your stone has veining, which most premium options do, those veins need to be perfectly mirrored across the waterfall. That precision matching drives up both material and labor costs dramatically. And if it ever chips, that vertical edge is the most vulnerable part of the entire countertop. One hard impact, and you're looking at a repair bill that makes you question every decision you've ever made. The smarter move, invest in a beautiful countertop material, but go with a simple, eased or beveled edge. You get the premium look, zero of the maintenance headache, and you'll save enough money to upgrade something that actually improves your daily life. Upgrade number 2: open shelving, replacing all upper cabinets. This trend exploded, and it refuses to die. Homeowners rip out every single upper cabinet and replace them with floating shelves. The result looks stunning for about 3 weeks. Then reality arrives. Every single item you own is now on display permanently. That means every dish needs to be perfectly arranged, every glass needs to be spotless, every bowl needs to face the same direction. You basically turned your storage into a museum exhibit that you personally curate every single day, and cooking destroys it constantly. Steam, grease, particles, and cooking residue float through the air and land on everything: your dishes, your glasses, your decorative items. Within a month, everything on those shelves has a thin, invisible layer of grease on it. Touch one of those glasses and you'll feel it. Now you're washing dishes before you use them, which is genuinely one of the most depressing things that can happen to a person in their own home. Storage capacity also drops dramatically. Upper cabinets are specifically engineered to hold massive amounts behind closed doors. Open shelves hold a fraction of that, and everything has to look good doing it. Real estate agents will tell you directly, open shelving is polarizing to buyers. Half of them see it and immediately calculate what it will cost to put the cabinets back. The smarter move: install closed cabinets with glass inserts on 1 or 2 sections only. You get the visual openness. You keep the storage, and your kitchen looks intentionally designed instead of half-finished. Upgrade number 3: colored appliances and statement refrigerators. Right now, colored appliances are having a massive moment. Sage green refrigerators, cream-colored ranges, matte black everything, they look incredible in styled content. They feel bold, personal, and premium. They also age faster than almost any other kitchen decision you can make. Here's the core problem. Appliances have a functional lifespan of roughly 10 to 15 years. Trends have a lifespan of about 3 to 5. So you're locking yourself into a statement color for a decade through every swing in design fashion. What feels current and fresh today will feel dated in ways that are genuinely hard to predict. But the bigger issue is resale. When a buyer walks into a kitchen with bold colored appliances, those appliances don't read as a feature. They read as a personal preference. one that the buyer now has to either accept or budget to replace. That's a negotiating tool handed directly to them. Colored or statement appliances also typically command significant price premiums. Over their standard counterparts, with limited performance advantages, you're paying extra for the color itself. The smarter move, stainless steel, panel-ready, or integrated appliances are universally appealing. They're timeless, they photograph well, and they never become the reason a buyer talks your price down. Upgrade number 4, cheap tile backsplash that tries to look expensive. A backsplash is one of the most visible elements in your entire kitchen. It runs along the wall at exact eye level. It's the backdrop for everything: cooking, entertaining, photography. And when homeowners try to save money here with budget tiles styled to look premium, it almost always backfires. Inexpensive tiles that mimic marble, stone, or handmade ceramic have one fatal flaw. They look perfect in the store and in photos taken from a distance. In person, in your actual kitchen, under actual lighting, the pattern repeat becomes obvious. The glaze looks slightly off. The grout lines telegraph that cost was cut somewhere. Buyers and visitors notice. They might not say anything, but they notice, and then there's grout. In a backsplash, especially behind the cooking area, grout becomes a long-term maintenance problem. Light grout stains constantly. Dark grout makes your kitchen feel heavy. Standard grout cracks, chips, and requires periodic resealing or replacement, an ongoing cost that accumulates significantly over time. The smarter move, spend the money on a smaller amount of genuinely beautiful tile, a simple high-quality subway tile in a real finish, porcelain slabs that eliminate grout lines almost entirely behind the cooking zone. The material cost difference is often smaller than people expect, and the long-term visual and maintenance difference is enormous. Upgrade number 5. Oversized statement range hoods, a dramatic oversized range hood as a focal point. You've seen this in every aspirational kitchen renovation. A massive plaster hood, a towering wood structure, a sculptural metal statement piece dominating the whole space. They look powerful, they feel architectural, and in the wrong kitchen. They're oppressive, impractical, and deeply damaging to your resale value. Here's what happens in practice. An oversized decorative hood that isn't properly sized to your actual cooking. Setup is essentially a sculpture with a ventilation system attached. If the CFM rating, that's the airflow capacity, doesn't match your cooktop output, it's failing at its actual job while consuming maximum visual space. In smaller or medium-sized kitchens, these hoods visually compress the entire room. They lower the ceiling perception. They block sight lines. What was designed to feel grand instead feels crowded and heavy, and maintenance is relentless. Every decorative surface, every crevice in that architectural detail collects grease. Cleaning a standard hood takes minutes. Cleaning an oversized statement hood with decorative elements can take an hour and still not look fully clean. The smarter move, choose a hood that's properly proportioned to your ceiling height and cooking equipment. Sleek, appropriately scaled hoods in quality finishes, read as premium, and intentional without turning your kitchen into a renovation project that scares buyers. Upgrade number 6. Under cabinet, lighting done wrong. Under cabinet lighting is genuinely one of the best kitchen upgrades available. When done correctly, when done incorrectly, it's one of the most frustrating daily experiences imaginable. The mistake most homeowners make is choosing the wrong color temperature. They install lights that are either too cool, creating a clinical, harsh, hospital-like atmosphere, or too warm, making food look strange and the whole counter feel dim. Either way, every time you turn them on, something feels slightly off, and you can never quite identify why. The second mistake is installation placement. Lights mounted too far back on the underside of cabinets illuminate your backsplash dramatically, but leave your actual work surface in shadow. That's the opposite of useful. The third mistake is choosing tape-led strips with inadequate quality control. Cheap LED strips have hot spots, inconsistent brightness, and often start failing within 18 months, at which point replacing them means removing everything, rerunning wires, and reinstalling in a kitchen you've already finished. The smarter move? Invest in quality hardwired LED puck lights or professional-grade linear LED systems positioned at the front of the cabinet underside. Aim for 2700K to 3000K color temperature for warm. Functional task lighting that makes your kitchen feel genuinely inviting at every hour. Upgrade number 8. Mixing too many premium finishes. This is the subtlest mistake on the list and possibly the most expensive. Homeowners invest in multiple premium upgrades, beautiful hardware, a gorgeous faucet, quality lighting, striking tiles, but choose each one independently, chasing what looks best in isolation. The result is a kitchen where everything is expensive and nothing cohesive. Matte black hardware, brushed gold faucet, chrome lighting fixtures, stainless appliances, warm wood accents. Each element is genuinely beautiful on its own. Together, they fight each other constantly for visual dominance. The kitchen looks busy, confused, and ultimately less valuable than a simpler, more unified approach. This finish chaos is one of the first things experienced buyers and real estate professionals notice. The smarter move: choose 2 metal finishes maximum and deploy them intentionally. Primary finish across hardware and faucets. Secondary finish as accents and lighting. This single discipline makes your kitchen look professionally designed, and it costs you nothing. It's just decision-making. Upgrade number 7: POT filler faucets. In the wrong kitchen, a pot filler above the stove looks absolutely premium. It reads as chef level, serious. It's one of those features that makes people walk into a kitchen and immediately say, wow. And in a large, properly configured kitchen, it earns its place completely. In most homes, it's one of the most frequently skipped features after installation, because the workflow doesn't actually work the way people imagined. You still need to carry a heavy pot of boiling water from the stove to the sink to drain it. So you still need the sink. You still make the same journey. The pot filler only helps with the fill step, and most people find that filling at the sink and carrying across was never actually the hard part of the process. Meanwhile, installation requires running a water line inside your wall to a location that's often structurally complex. If it ever leaks, and wall-mounted plumbing fittings carry real risk. You're dealing with water damage inside a wall cavity directly above your cooking equipment. That's an expensive and disruptive problem. In homes without large kitchens with proper layouts, buyers increasingly view pot fillers as a minor novelty rather than a genuine value add. The smarter move: if you genuinely cook large volumes, evaluate your actual workflow first. If the answer is yes, install it with proper waterproofing and quality fixtures. If you're doing it purely for aesthetics, that money could buy something that improves your actual daily life far more meaningfully. Upgrade number 9: poor quality cabinet installation. You can buy the most beautiful cabinet doors available, the finest finish, the most on-trend style, and if the installation is poor, none of it matters. Cabinets that aren't perfectly level look wrong immediately, even to people who can't explain why. Doors that don't align properly, gaps that are slightly inconsistent, hinges that weren't adjusted properly after installation. These details collectively create an impression that something is off. It's felt before it's analyzed, and here's the brutal truth: budget cabinet installers are very common, and the difference between a good installation and a poor one is often invisible on the day of completion. It shows up over months and years as doors start to drift, hinges loosen, and the small tolerances that weren't quite right compound into obvious problems. Poor installation also voids many cabinet warranties and creates repair situations that are genuinely difficult and expensive. To correct without significant disruption, the smarter move: spend less on the cabinet style itself if necessary, but never compromise on installation quality. A simple, well-installed cabinet looks and functions better every day than an elaborate cabinet that was rushed into place. Upgrade number 10: ignoring the kitchen triangle entirely. This is the one that shocks people, because it's not a product choice, it's not a finish, it's a spatial decision, and it's the one that ruins more expensive kitchens than any single material or appliance choice. The kitchen work triangle is the relationship between your refrigerator, your sink, and your cooking surface. When these 3 points are properly spaced and connected, your kitchen flows naturally. Every task takes less time, less movement, less energy. You might not even notice because it just feels right. When the triangle is broken, when your refrigerator is positioned across the room from your cooking zone, when your sink requires a long journey from the prep area, when an oversized island forces you to walk around everything, your kitchen fights you every single time you use it. Homeowners spend enormous amounts on premium materials, then accept a layout that fundamentally doesn't work, because changing the layout feels too difficult or expensive in the planning phase. Then they spend the next decade compensating for it daily. Buyers feel a broken kitchen layout immediately during the first walkthrough. They can't always articulate it, but they know something is wrong, and that feeling costs you at negotiation time. The smarter move, before you spend a single dollar on materials, finishes, or appliances, map your kitchen triangle. Work with a designer or use free planning tools to verify your layout works before it gets built. This costs nothing and protects every investment that comes after it.